some Destiny dirt, right?
Oh yeah, let's just go through everything. Let's talk about where it's gonna end. Whatever you want. Let's do it.
Hey, well, you guys showing gameplay. We're excited about Beyond Light and obviously coming to Game Pass. But I think everyone wants to know more about the game. You talked a bit about development. Look, everyone knows you pushed back the date a little bit to November on it, which I think is understandable given circumstances. But you guys at your event last month, I mean, kind of outlined here's the next 3, right? I mean, you're sort of being very clear with people about the roadmap and the plan. This one, maybe we could talk a bit about Stasis, I guess. I mean, what do you want to share? Because I think everyone knows about it and you've talked about it, but you're keeping it kind of a mysterious in terms of how, Power Set's going to work and whatnot. Is that deliberate, or because you guys are still experimenting, or?
No, so it's a couple of things. There's a deliberate approach that we're taking with how we're thinking about marketing and talking about the game this year. We're keeping the cards a little closer to our vest, in part because it's like the fun of playing video games, the fun of entertainment is some of that, being surprised. We do have a bunch of changes that we're making to the way that players are going to interact with wielding the darkness, and we'll probably get into that a little bit before launch. Like, we always want to get feedback on that. But you talked about that event from whatever 4 or 6 weeks ago. I time kind of flies here in the quarantine bubble. It's hard to keep track of anything. And what we're trying to do with Destiny is really let everyone out there know, like, this is, Destiny 2 is an awesome game that we are completely committed to. Like, you can see, that Game Pass, how Game Pass fits into this vision of that single evolving world you can play anytime, anywhere with your friends. Like, we want to be everywhere. To quote Ariel, like, we want to be where the people are. We have this awesome global community, and we want to keep growing it. And to close on the thing you pointed out at the top, Jeff, it's we wanted to lay out that Beyond Light is the beginning of this new era, and it's going to continue next year with the Witch Queen and arc that we've been building toward for some time. And of course, we're heading toward a moment that we're excited about with Lightfall at the end of this, like, kind of 3 expansions.
Yeah, that's a lot of your life to devote to sort of planning out what you're going to do over the next couple of years. So how you think of it, obviously, from a content perspective and a story, lore, narrative perspective, but I assume also from a gameplay perspective. So something like Stasis, tell us a bit about that. Is that something that obviously impacts the next 3 in a way, but are you thinking that far ahead of like how the gameplay is going to change each year? Yes. Or how do you map it out?
Yeah, so even with something like Stasis, like, we're going to launch kind of a bunch of the player side of the abilities for Stasis this fall, like the encase, freeze, shatter, like that's going to enter Destiny. And then over the course of the rest of the year, we're going to continue to add more. Like, the creatures are going to gain access to it in a way that they won't have it at the start. Like, you're going to fight creatures, obviously wielding it in the beginning, but it's not going to be, it's going to proliferate throughout the game, this ability to freeze, be frozen, etc. And then we look at our overall plan and we think about, right now we're obviously, ideating, early thoughts on what players are going to get to do next. That's a place where, for us, we like to start thinking about it, because we're trying to make awesome, fun toys for people who've been building their Guardians for, maybe 1 year, maybe 3 years, or maybe they've been with us the whole time, and it's been since 2014. So we usually start from a place of what's awesome that we can give the player.
Tell us a bit about events and in-game events. You guys experimented with doing something pretty grand. I don't know, was it 2 months ago or whenever it was. Are we going to see more live events in-game? I assume that's on the roadmap, and those are really hard to do, and it was awesome that you guys were able to accomplish that. How does that factor into kind of your roadmap for Destiny from a content perspective?
So I think live events like that, like the Almighty event, was an awesome test for us. Like, what we want to do is when we're going to load up and point the guns like that at a target, we want it to be when it can be maximally impactful. Like, I don't think that's the type of thing we would do every season. Like, we certainly aren't a game like Fortnite. We're not going to have Travis Scott show up in the game. We're different. What we've been talking about doing is how can we make events that bring players together that are uniquely Destiny, and what are those things. And so I think over the coming years we're going to keep evolving that as we go. Like the tech stack's awesome. Like it is, it's a miracle. The tech stack's a miracle, and that we were able to pull it off with everyone kind of working from home. It's just an incredible testament to the team. It was awesome hearing Greenberg mention that, and you mentioned that too. Like it is no one wants to hear from anyone who makes entertainment that it's hard, but everyone who's making entertainment, it's fundamentally challenging in some way that like you never talk about. And then doing it in a completely new context, it's even harder. Like the thing you're doing right now is fucking harder in ways that, it's just
not. Oh yeah, no, our teams and like doing this all from home, and we're all making it work, but I think you're right. The audience at home sometimes, even with all these press events, has this expectation of like, Allegra said, like, where was the wow surprise? And it's like sometimes those things were planned, and then that team couldn't get it done, and they're in another part of the world. And I think there's so many games even I know about that were going to be announced this summer that just like are not ready for whatever reason. And it's like you can't blame people because they couldn't get the orchestra together to record that rousing score for the trailer or something like that. So there are a lot of things that I think people have to think about. But I wanted to ask you this before we go, like development, you guys had to push back a couple months, like do you feel confident now that like you're able to figure it out? It's just taking a little bit longer. Is that right?
Yeah. The extra time is awesome for us and the team, and we are. I think we're gonna use it to the fullest degree that we can, and it's given us time to work a little harder on things like stasis and try to get that experience of playing through the Beyond Light campaign to the place that we want it to be, and also do all of it while checking in remotely from VPNs.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty fascinating what you guys have been able to do. Well, we look forward to seeing more as you develop from home there. I'm sure probably have the game right up next to you. Definitely to figure it out. But yeah, I love that you guys have outlined the roadmap. We're excited to learn more about Beyond Light and, of course, the roadmap for Destiny, and love that you guys are showing gameplay, getting people excited, and we know you're going to have an amazing story. We saw Lance Reddick recording in his closet or whatever it was, I think, on Twitter.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? Like we've shipped a bunch of voice actors gear and stuff so they can do it, and they're just able to jump in and do awesome stuff for us. It's tremendous.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, Luke from Bungie. Thanks. Great to have you with us. We have some more coming up for you. Tim Schafer will be joining us and other things. We're going to be right back after this. We just got to make a quick little technical switch, and we'll see you guys on the other side with a little bit more of our post show.